Hello friends. If you're preparing for a full stack backend or a Java developer interview, then expect database questions ranging from basics to advanced topics. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry. I will help you prepare using this quick video. Welcome to my channel and let's get started. In this video, we will go through the types of SQL commands. The types are data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, transaction control language, and data query language. Data definition language is used to define and modify the structure of a database. The commands are create, alter, drop, and truncate. Now let's try each of these commands. I'm using Postgres and this is pgadmin. I'm going to create a users table with two attributes, user ID and name. The user ID will be the primary key. So I will say create table users, user ID, and the data type is int. And since this is going to be the primary key of the table, I will mention the constraint as primary key. And then the name with data type as varchar and the length as 255 and the constraint not null. Now let's run this command. So the query has returned successfully. Table will be created. Now let's alter this table and add a column named email of type varchar. So we will type alter table users add column email of type varchar with length 255 and we will run this command. One way of looking at the columns in the table is by doing a select query. So I'll say select star from users and I can now see the three columns of the user table. The drop table command will remove the data as well as the structure. So need to be careful with this command because rollback is not possible. The command is simply drop table and the table name. If you do a select on the table that was dropped, you will get the following response as the table no longer exists. Before we move on to the truncate command, let's insert one record into the users table. Insert into users and specify the columns for which we will pass the values and specify some sample values. Once our statement executes successfully, we will do a select query to look at the data in the table. Unlike the drop statement, which removes the data as well as the structure of the table, the truncate command will only remove the data of the table. Rollback is usually not possible, but Postgres allows us to roll back if the statement is within a transaction. The truncate table users command has been successful. If we do a select on the users table, we will see that the data has been removed, but the structure remains. Unlike the DDL commands that work with the structure, the DML commands work with the data in the table. The commands are insert, update, and delete. Now let's try these DML commands. Instead of adding one record into the table, as we have already seen in the truncate table example, let's try to add multiple records. This can be done by separating the values by a comma. Now let's see the data in the table by doing a select query. Now let's say I want to update the name attribute of the record that has user ID 2. So we shall go for the update command. The command is update users set name equal to the value where user ID equal to 2. Let's run it. After the execution is successful, let's do a select query to look at the data in the table. Yes, as you can see, the name has been updated. Now let's try to delete the same record, and for that we will use the delete command. And the command is delete from users when name equals developer. If you don't specify the where clause in the delete command, it will delete all the records from the users table. Let's run the command. The execution is successful. Now let's look at the data in the table by doing a select query. And as you can see, we no longer have the record. As you might have noticed, The delete, truncate, and drop are quite similar, and so you might be asked to explain the differences between these three commands. Although there are many differences, focus on these important ones. That is, delete can remove specific rows, while truncate and drop cannot. The drop command can remove the table structure, while delete and truncate cannot. Rollback is only possible with respect to the delete statement, but truncate and drop cannot be rolled back, with an exception that the truncate command can be rolled back within a Postgres database. Truncate resets sequences by default, and triggers are activated by the delete command. That's it for this video, and I will talk about the remaining SQL commands in the next video. Thanks for watching.